to him in due time. I think that I could fuck the idea him out of your mind. He said he rap, he ain't signed, that ain't a good.
So bro, you gotta tell me, who you gonna ask to go to prom? I'm already knowing you got all the options in the world being a star player. So let me know something.
Man, bro, I'm not gonna be at prom. I got real life bills I gotta pay and they is not getting no cheaper. So I ain't even gonna have the money to get a new suit or nothing. And I gotta work that day.
Aw, dang. I be forgetting you live by yourself. Man, don't even trip. It's probably gonna be lame anyway. You ain't gonna miss nothing. And then plus, you finna go D1. You probably gonna be at all the lit parties on campus anyway.
Boy, Dominique, I tell you, I'm sure gonna miss being your football coach and your teacher. Yeah, man, I mean, when you head off to college, it's gonna be borderline impossible to find another running back as dominant as you were. Makes me almost wish you had a little brother coming along or something. I mean, it's been no secret that you've been our best player for the last 4 years. And don't tell the class, but you're also my favorite student too. But hey man, when you get to college, don't be going all willy-nilly. I need you to be as sharp as you are now. The best student in the classroom and the best player on that field with the hardest work ethic. You just stay true to yourself and you'll be all right.
Hey coach, I appreciate that for real. And you don't gotta worry, I'm gonna stay the same way I am now, just focus on the grind. And just know, even when I make it, I'm gonna always remember everybody that helped me. And you definitely one of those people. My name is Dominique Harper, and my life is all messed up. Well look, I got a few hours to kill until it's time for me to head to work, so I figured I could fill y'all in the meantime. Born and raised in Birmingham, Alabama, I grew up with my pops, DeMarcus Harper, and my mom, Yvette Harper, who unfortunately passed away when I was only 7 years old. Now, of course, this loss was devastating to everyone who knew her because she was the most high-spirited and positive woman you could ever meet. And as we all dealt with this loss differently, my dad definitely handled it the worst way he knew how. See, at this point, he would just want to be left alone every night and get sloppy drunk until eventually he'd fall asleep. And I was too young to understand, so I thought he was just sick. But one day, I felt like he was getting better because he promised to take me to the rec to go play basketball. I mean, I just remember finally feeling happy again for the first time in a long time. I was already thinking about the different moves I was finna pull out on the court, but before we could play, my pops had to get a day pass. And when it was time for him to pay, he realized he had left his wallet in the car. So he told me to wait while he had left to go grab it. Well, hours and hours and hours had passed by and still no sign of him. I was trying to do everything I could to think positive, but even to a 7-year-old kid, it became clear that he was not coming back. So out of concern, the lady working the desk ended up calling the cops. And a few more hours later, after notifying my family, my grandpa came up to the police station and got me. And just like that, he will become my new guardian. Now, my grandpa was real old school and he liked a lot of hands-on work. He didn't believe in paying anyone to do a job for him. Instead, he'd rather do it himself. And with me growing up under his roof, he made sure to instill that in me also. So from all the years that I lived with him is where I would gain my hard work ethic. It was the end of my 8th grade year when my grandpa would get real sick to the point where he was in and out of the hospital. And this is when he figured that he wouldn't be able to watch me and it would be better for me to stay with someone else. So from then on out, I would be living with my aunt Tamika and her no-good boyfriend Brandon. Now look, I figured I could manage because I'm only gonna be here for 4 years and then I'm off to college. But living here quickly became a nightmare. I mean, the whole crib was filled with nothing but toxic energy. All they would do was argue, drink, and smoke. Now I was always a good kid growing up, never in trouble. But it seemed like my freshman year, I really turned it up a notch. I was extra locked in. I was focusing on my schoolwork, getting my assignments turned in on time, making straight A's. And outside of school, I was doing anything to stay away from home. Anything that was positive, of course. So I figured I needed an extracurricular activity, so I started to get in shape so I could try out for my football team at my high school. And the rest was history, man. Just like that, I had found my new passion. Something I was good at and could see myself being the greatest. I mean, I was a straight beast out of the gate. At first, I wanted to try out for receiver, but I knew I had a lot of speed, and to be honest, I had a lot of built-up anger also. And I just felt like playing running back would give me the chance to run through people and release everything I've been holding in since I was a kid. So I quickly had changed my mind and decided to try out for a running back. And I mean, obviously, as y'all can see, that was the best decision I made. I mean, by the end of my freshman season, I had multiple D1 offers. And realizing that I had the chance to really change my life, football became my main focus. And consistently up until my junior season of high school, I was putting on a clinic, receiving offers from schools like Florida, Georgia, Auburn, Bama, man, you name it, I had it. But one summer evening going into my senior year, I overheard my aunt having a conversation.
I could care less about this boy. Do you think that I took him in out of the kindness of my heart? Because you are sadly mistaken. If I wasn't getting paid the whole time he's been here, he could have been on the streets for all I cared. He is not my son nor my responsibility. To be honest, he wasn't nothing but another paycheck.
Nah, don't get me wrong. I know me and my aunt ain't like buddy or nothing, but hearing her talk about me like that still broke my heart nevertheless. So that same day, without notice, I packed up and left. And maybe it wasn't the most logical thing to do to some of y'all, but I mean, to be honest, I had no regrets. Thankfully, my grandpa ended up getting me a car for my 17th birthday. I mean, it was nothing crazy, just a 2008 Camry. But for a little while, this would become my new home. I mean, I had nowhere else to go, so this is where I was sleeping and everything. And I would just take my showers in the locker room at the school. Now, even though I was making a way, I couldn't live like this for too long. And after filling out plenty of applications online, I finally got a call back. I was able to get me a cool little stocking job at Walmart, making $14 an hour. And I know it don't sound life-changing, but for me, it definitely was. Now, of course, I was working part-time because as y'all know, I got school and I'm a student athlete. But after saving up enough checks, my next step was the biggest step I had made yet. Since I was under the legal age to live on my own, I had to go to court in order for me to get emancipated. For those of y'all who don't know what that is, basically your guardian signs papers allowing you to live on your own. And in my case, it would be my aunt signing the papers. And since she ain't want me there anyway, it was no problem for her to sign them. So after pleading all my reasons that I need to live on my own to the judge, she then let me know that I could do so. And a few weeks later, I was moving into my own spot. Now, like I said earlier, I'm only making $14 an hour, working part-time. So, of course, my crib ain't that pretty. I had no money for furniture or nothing. So, I've been sleeping on a mattress on the floor since I've been here. Now, y'all can look at the apartment and tell it's ran down, but, I mean, it's better than sleeping in my car, at least to me. And I only gotta lay here getting bid up for a few months anyway until I graduate. So, I think I can make it. My senior season of football finally rolled around, and don't get me wrong, I was still putting up some decent numbers, but if I'm being honest, everything took a slight decline. Still doing my thing, but I wasn't as productive as I was my first 3 seasons of high school football. I didn't lose any offers, but some of those schools did start showing less interest, barely reaching out to me like they used to do, and it became clear that they probably moved on or they didn't feel like I was that same threat. And the reason it seemed like I took a step back was because at first, like I said, football was my main priority, but now that I'm living on my own, it's hard to give all my time to one thing, especially when I got a job. But I still been trying to do the best I can to try to balance it out. Like for example, even outside of school, I've been hitting the gym heavy. Every slight bit of free time I get, this is where I'm at putting in work. And then came decision day, man, where I finally decide which college I'm gonna go to. Now, sadly, after me slowing down like I told y'all, I wouldn't be going to no 5-star program anymore because they're now uninterested. So my top 3 schools was OSU, Kansas, and Georgia Tech. Yes, sir, y'all boys, man. Y'all see it. Your boy is now a Kansas Jayhawk. Finally landed out here in Kansas, and compared to where I came from, the spot they put me in is luxury. Yeah, man, I could get used to this. I'm enjoying it already. But this is not what we out here for. We out here to put in that work. But to my surprise, I came in as a 3rd halfback on the depth chart. But pretty early, I was able to compete for the halfback 2 position. And as y'all can see, I proved myself enough and I won that with no problem. And on the 4th week of the season, I was able to compete once again, but this time for halfback 1. And yes, sir, man, your boy is not a starting halfback taking on West Virginia in week 4. Let's get it, y'all boys. Hey, look, y'all know this a big moment for your boy. I just won that starting halfback position, and I'm not trying to lose it in the first game of the season. So I gotta prove to coach that he made the right decision, and I plan to do nothing less. And as I said before, we are up against West Virginia. My first handoff in college football goes straight into a brick wall. I try to make something work, but it don't. 3rd and 2, in order to keep the drive going, I try to bend that corner, but I do not get near enough. He is stopped short of the line. Score is now 3-3. QB's gonna go my way in the flat. I cut up field, get past some defenders, and pick up some much needed yards. Very next play, right outside the 10, I got my mindset on 6. Going head up with the safety, I hurdle, bro, and get into that end zone for my first touchdown of my career. Stop playing, man. First touchdown is a complete highlight. I hurdled the mess out of bro. Score is now 6-10, and we up. Coming out of the backfield, the quarterback gonna go my way. I get past that 30 and keep my feet moving for extra yards. 3rd quarter, I currently got 19 rushing yards, but that B gap is wide open, and I'm able to make something shake out of this one. Very next play, I get some good blocking in the front, taking it to the outside, and I'm able to pick up a gain of 6 before being brought down. Another outside handoff. This play almost got blown up, but thank God I'm fast. Broke out of a tackle before stepping out of bounds. Before you know it, we facing a 3rd and goal outside the 10. My fullback and right tackle is doing a great job of blocking, allowing me to get enough space to get into that end zone for my 2nd of the season, man. Up 17-6 late in the 3rd quarter. A simple draw play. I break out of one tackle and pick up a good amount of yards before being brought down. Haven't really been able to break one for a huge amount of yards, but I keep consistently finding some open spaces, picking up a gain of 9 right here. Inside the 10, coach want to put the ball in my hands, and I get us another touchdown, man. What a debut for me. Your boy is balling out, I can't lie. And just like that, we go 4-0, beating West Virginia with the final score being 27-6. I finished the game with 117 rushing yards off 28 attempts and 3 touchdowns.
No doubt about it. They made the play.
Right back at home wearing our brand new alternates. Coming off a good game, but I'm looking to go out here and make a real statement. And we are up against Cincinnati. 2nd and 7, coming out the backfield. I wish he would have hit me in stride. But regardless, I do make the catch, cutting upfield, breaking out of a tackle before being brought down outside the 50. 4th and 2, man, and coach got all the trust in me, and I do not let him down, breaking off for a big gain, getting us that 1st down and more. Very next play, my O-line is doing a great job at blocking. I got a wide open gap, and I'm going to take full advantage. Coming out the backfield again, QB got his eyes on me, and he going to throw a bad pass. I'm not going to lie, I did call for it, so it low-key is my fault, but at the end of the day, he the quarterback. They go up 7-0 with 20 seconds left in the 1st quarter. I'm breaking out of one tackle, keeping my feet moving and fighting for some extra yards, picking up a gain of 8. 3rd and inches, trying to fight for that 1st down, but I get stopped short. They go up 14-0. A-gap is wide open. I get past one defender and pick up a gain of 10 before being brought down. Trying the right side again, and I get some more good blocks, picking up 2 back-to-back 10-yard gains.
Well, obviously the offense went.
Minute left in the half, still trying to find our first points of the game. Again, the O-line is blocking to perfection, giving me some room to pick up some big yards. 1st and goal, running to the outside and cutting it back in. I nearly get into that end zone, but I'm stopped right outside. On the 3rd and goal, we going with a screen pass. It's going to go my way. I get caught up on my defender, but I'm able to break loose and get a touchdown, man. Scoring our first 6 points of the game. 3rd quarter, and Cincinnati goes up 21-7, but I've been shredding them boys on the ground, and I do it once again, picking up over 20 yards. The score is now 28-14 with 3 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Coming out the backfield again, I don't know what the defense was doing, but I am wide open all the way downfield for a huge reception. Sadly, we didn't score, but we got the ball back with a minute left in the 4th quarter. And once again, I'm left wide open. QB delivers a dot my way, and we get into that end zone again. Not going to make much of a difference, but at least it was a nice play. So we would go on to lose for the first time this season, with the final score being 28-21. It was hard on everybody, but the season ain't over. We got a lot of games to play. And I finished this game with 88 receiving yards and 107 rushing yards off 17 attempts, with 2 touchdowns on top. And as y'all can see, this performance was well enough for me to win the Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week. With a 4-1 record, we are now stepping into the home of the UFC night, looking to go out here and get things right back on track. My first handoff for the game, and I put in a whole lot of work breaking tackles to only pick up a gain of 1. Lined up in the slot on the very next play, this is a complete bust by the defense, letting me get wide open. I break out of 1 tackle, 2 tackles, getting past that 20, that 10, and making my way into the end zone for my first of the game, man. Let's get it. And before y'all start getting skeptical, yes, man, we are playing on Heisman difficulty as always. So we up 7-zip, UFC does not score. My second handoff of the game is complete night and day from my first one, picking up some big yards. 4th and 2, and with me in the backfield, coach feel good with our chances. As y'all can see, he made the right decision with me picking up a gain of 13. Very next play, we got an outside handoff, but I'm cutting it back inside, slipping out of one tackle, picking up another huge chunk of yards, man. Let's go. Trying to put the ball into the air, I'm fading out to the end zone. At the top of my route, I end up coming back to the ball. He gonna throw a dot my way. I thought I caught it with a foot in, but it's gonna be short. Slot receiver starting off in motion. The score is now 10-14. I'm coming out the backfield once again, trying to get us in the field goal range before half, and I do so. But by the third quarter, the game is tied up 17-17 as I break out of one tackle and fight for a gain of around 13. I'm not gonna lie, I'm starting to like this angle better because I can see the field more. And as y'all can see, man, I break another one loose for a nice gain.
When you can generate explosive plays by running the football, you gotta
3rd and 5 later that drive, and I'm open. QB's gonna deliver my way, and y'all see I'm fighting for that extra yards, trying to get that first, and I do. 4th quarter, the score is now tied 24-24. Trying to put a slow, methodical drive together as I grab 10 yards. Read option, and Jalen Daniels is gonna keep it instead of handing it off to me. And at the worst time of the game, he gonna fumble the rock. Defense recovers, and they get a good return out of it. Going back to a play that we like to run heavy, I'm coming out of the flat again. Not sticking to my route, I'm just getting open, trying to get inside field goal range, and I do. Hopefully we can just tie this game up with 5 seconds left. But we had no timeouts left, causing us to lose our second game in a row by 3. But I had a huge productive day, finishing with 140 receiving yards, 172 rushing yards for 27 attempts, and 1 touchdown. Right back on the road, and we trying to stay away from turning this into a losing streak. We done already lost 2 games back-to-back. And as y'all can see, we are up against the Texas Tech Red Raiders. We get started on our first drive. This is our second drive. QB handed off to me. I'm getting shifty, but I end up fumbling the rock. The first fumble of my college career, and the defense is going to recover it.
I love those smashes where you can hear it up here. Goodness gracious, you can.
And I'm not going to lie, seeing them celebrate the turnover pissed me off. But it's all good because we're going to get it back in blood. They go and score a field goal. But my very next handoff, man, I told y'all I was going to get it back in blood, and look what I do. Breaking into the open field, and ain't nobody going to catch me, man. Putting us on the board for our first 6 of the game. A 73-yard touchdown, man. Let's get it. 2nd and 3, and I definitely like this angle a lot more. I can see the field a lot better as I get past that first level of defense and break off for a huge gain, being brought down past that 50. Few plays later, we putting that ball in the air. I get behind that first level of defense and sit in the middle. QB throws a dot my way. I run right through that safety and get past that 10.
Finally corralled, but not before. He picked up the first down.
Well, the offense is humming now, and you're seeing.
3rd quarter, the score is now 10-3. I'm lined up on the outside. I got to get up to make this catch, and I do, getting us at a 1st and goal. 3rd and goal, I get my number called again, and I get us into that end zone, capping this drive off with another touchdown.
He noses his way into the end zone.
Another rushing touchdown. That's now 2 on the game. This offense thought they could come into this one running the ball, being the more.
Up 17-3 with a minute left in the 3rd quarter. QB goes my way again. I see a lot of open field, and I take full advantage, trucking another defender, but he's able to nudge me out of bounds. A few plays later, sneaking out the backfield, he's going to deliver a dot to me across the middle, and I'm able to keep my legs moving and get into that end zone, stretching out that lead against Texas Tech. So we finally get things back on track with the final score being 27-10. The boys starting to get comfortable, and it shows with 142 rushing yards off 22 attempts and 3 touchdowns, averaging almost 7 yards per carry.
They made the play.
8th game of the season, rocking that all black, looking like we mean business, and that's because we do, man. We facing our in-state rivals. Yes, indeed, we are up against Kansas State. My first handoff of the game gets shut down after a gain of 2, and before you know it, we walking off the field after a failed 3rd down. Kansas goes down and scores, and on the 3rd and 2 again, I end up taking the handoff this time, getting that first down with ease, breaking out a tackle before being brought down outside the 50. Very next play, we got an inside handoff again, almost get blown up, but I'm able to pick up 6 out of this one. But then my boy Jalen Daniels is going to drop back and throw a complete dot to the defense, giving them the ball right back. And at the end of the 1st quarter, the score is 14-0. Start of the 2nd quarter, look at the left tackle doing some great blocking, man. I get some open space and turn it into a big game. Coming out the backfield, Jalen Daniels ain't going to waste no time giving it to me. I run right past that linebacker, pick up some good yards before being pushed out of bounds before that 20. Pay attention to the balance, man. This would have been blown up if I didn't have great balance, and I'm able to break out of it and pick up a gain of 9. Finally, at a 3rd and goal, he handed the ball off to me, and I get us our first 6 of the game. But they go down and score again, making it 21-7. But as y'all can see, I'm slicing and dicing through that line, picking up a big gain of 20. Jalen faking the handoff and checking it down to me, and I'm able to cut loose and get us a gain of 10. Coming out the flat again, he gonna deliver my way. And y'all see I got a lot of open space. I'm gonna run straight through that safety again for another touchdown, man. Let's go. I told y'all this is how I release my stress. 3rd quarter now, and the score is 21-14. Looking to even this game out. I have been killing them on the ground game, and I do it once again, almost getting into that end zone. 2nd and goal, and I don't know how they have not caught on yet, but I get another touchdown for quick and easy pitch and catch. They go down and kick a field goal, making it 24-21. I currently have over 100 yards in both receiving and running. And y'all hear the atmosphere is going crazy, man. After taking off for another huge run.
Because with the score what it is right now, everything is at your disposal.
First play coming back from the 2-minute warning. We threatening inside the red zone. I do get enough to get us a 1st and goal, but I'm not getting into that end zone just yet. But Jalen Daniels will throw a dot to the tight end, getting us a touchdown and giving us that lead. But sadly, in the Sunflower Showdown, man, we ended up leaving them boys too much time on the clock, and they turned that time into points, scoring another touchdown, giving them the win. And with that, we would take another loss for our 3rd time this season. But as for me, I finished the game with 114 receiving yards and 148 rushing yards for 3 touchdowns. And with that performance, I ended up winning Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week again for my 2nd time. And this right here is where I will end my video. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. And if y'all have made it this far, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. And with that being said, I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
Pop it, sipping acorn, rich nigga on A1.